Am I getting a live feed? I am live. Hey y'all, I haven't been live in so long. Is anybody out there? Any viewers? No? No viewers?
I'm probably tired of you going around.
But that was so mean. I don't go live as nearly as much as I used to. Like I used to go live like, oh.
She talking about now.
Hey y'all, what y'all doing? Well, why don't you come get in my live with me? Wanna come in now? Come on, babe. Come on, Poppy. Come in. Come in. Say hi to Bud, y'all. Tell Bud to come in my video. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. What y'all doing? Bud does not like live. He don't, you know. He don't like nothing. But hey y'all. Sorry. It's me on the computer. What y'all doing tonight? Hi, Victor. Hi, Miss Irvin. How are you? What y'all doing tonight?
So what you talking about, Mrs. Smith?
Stop telling people your business. That's what I'm talking about. Stop telling people your business. If you married and you in a relationship, stop telling people your business. It is not fair to you, and it's not fair to your significant other, whether you're married or in a relationship with somebody. It's not fair to, hi, Demetrius. It's not fair to tell your family and your friends about what you're experiencing in your personal relationship with the person that you live with, that you sleep with, that you plan on marrying, that you're married to, that you got kids with. The thing is that doing that is very dangerous. Hey, Beth. Because when you find yourself in a place like, Beth, we all been there where we're dating somebody or we in a relationship or even married and we getting our feelings about a disagreement or something that we have with our significant other, and you mad and you in your feelings, okay? And next thing you know, you telling everybody about what happened. But you're only telling your side and your version, and you ain't telling the whole truth half the time. And then 2 days later, after you and Bonquisha done had, some makeup stuff, or, y'all done talked it over and no more crying and fighting. That's how it normally go. Then you and Bonquisha back on. Meanwhile, all the people you told about how mad you was at Bonquisha. Hey, Dator, they mad at Bonquisha. And now they're looking at Bonquisha like, what's she doing here? And he don't need her. And why he around her? Because, the other person's not telling their half. So you have to figure out, who is needed to be privy of your personal or that private information. Because when you making up with your significant other, next thing you know, you're not just trying to patch things up with your husband or your wife or whoever. You got to prove to everybody else that everything you told them about your business ain't true, or that you mean it. You usually don't be on my lives, and you look like you agitated over there in the corner.
Oh, is your leg? To you.
Is your leg rocking? Because I can feel your leg knocking next to mine.
But at the end of the day, with all this, my lovely wife is saying, I think communication is key in all this. I can honestly say I have been a person in our marriage that was doing this to my wife, involving everybody in the beginning of our marriage. I would say the first 7 years of our marriage was very challenging due to the fact of, one, basically involving people in the marriage that didn't have no business being involved in it. When you involve immediate family members, and like she said, then all they hear is your side, and especially if they're your immediate family, of course they going cleave to your side. They ain't really trying to hear the other side. They just want to. Everything is, oh man, like now, and what I was doing, I was basically just venting about all the problems that was going on in the marriage. And if my wife came to family functions, man,
they was roasting me, child.
It was crazy, but she didn't have a clue or why they was looking at her, giving her bad looks, looking like they was ready to rip her head off, and it was messed up. You know what I mean? So basically at the end of the day, communication is key. And that was one of the things that I didn't have in the beginning of the marriage. Communication. That goes a long way. That builds trust. That keeps the friendship going. And basically, it was like it's like I'm telling you, what I know now, and I wish I knew then. Because I do a lot of reading now, and this book right here called The Answer. It's one of the best marriage books I read, next to Purpose Driven Life, because Purpose Driven Life is one of my best books that I ever read. But that book, The Answer, it was written by a married couple, and that was something new for me, because normally it's just one-sided, but you're hearing something from a husband and wife.
Yeah. And
it was something that the wife said that stood out to me, and I tell a lot of people this. I use this as an example, or I use this message that the wife said in this book. And basically, she quotes and says, and it's on communication, and she says, now you have to dig this, you have to feel this one on this one, because what she said was, a marriage or a relationship with your significant other, a marriage or a relationship without communication is like a cell phone with no service. All you do is play games.
Okay,
let that marinate for a little bit.
People emotions and their feelings.
Yeah, it's like, imagine you having a cell phone with no service and all you do is play games. That's what you're doing in a relationship or a marriage that has no communication. All y'all doing is playing games. It's nothing serious. You're not taking each other serious. And it's key. It builds a great foundation for friendship. And that's one of the things that me and my wife have is a great friendship. And we can laugh together. Everything ain't so serious all the time. Yes. It ain't always about, like, when I come in from work, what about them bills, or clothes, or clean the house, or something like that.
We argue about biscuits and how hard I fry. No, I put too much jelly on your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We argue about that.
Yeah, you too heavy-handed with jelly. You make my sandwiches soggy.
Communication is key. And you know what? When you have communication, this allows you to stay in a place where you don't feel the need to share your personal marital or relationship information with people who are in your family or, your close friends. When you're constantly sharing information, you're not giving any room for God to work any of the issues out, depending on the severity or, how minute they may be. And then you're really not giving yourselves the opportunity to learn how to understand each other, how to learn how to communicate with each other. So when you don't have that friendship and there's no communication, something happens, you run in and you telling your girlfriend, you telling your mama and them, your cousin and them. And then this is the thing. I always say I don't do domestics, and I always say, I don't want to be the one on the outside looking in, because what happens is the people, they make up, and then, you come out your face and you say negative stuff about the person in relationship because they told you something, and then you end up mad at the person in a relationship, and meanwhile they've moved on, and now, they're back on again. Meanwhile, you done said stuff to the person, you mad, you was in your feelings, and they moved on, but it doesn't help you produce longevity of a healthy communicating relationship when every time you go through something, you running and telling everybody what you're going through. Like, you can't do that. And
basically, to elaborate on that, it's almost like, it was one thing I think I heard my pastor say one time. I don't remember if it was my pastor or a special guest pastor, but basically, and it was my pastor. He said, basically, you have to treat, this is almost like another thing it had you thinking. Treat your marriage or relationship like a checking account. What deposits are you making to contribute to the relationship or the marriage? Are you constantly making withdrawals? And it's depleting the funds.
Reciprocation, okay?
You're not making no deposits to make the account stronger or more significant, or in relationship terms or marriage terms, making it better. You're just basically you keep pulling and taking away, and you're not putting in. Basically, coming from a man's point of view, a man will always complain and look for praises for something that he did. Like you mowed the lawn and you painted, and now you're looking for her to come home from work and acknowledge what you did. That's just something that you're supposed to do on a regular anyway. You know what I mean? It's it's kind of almost being like selfish. Like, you know what I mean, basically at the end of the day, it's like you want to show more appreciation to your wife, to your significant other, and that goes a long way. What I mean is, basically, instead of waiting until like Valentine's Day or a birthday or a significant special occasion, take just because it's Sunday or Monday, you know, you're on your way home from work. Like, using me for example, like me and my wife, like when I come in, usually she's going out to the salon, and it only take a couple of hours to go to Walmart, get a card, $1.50, an appreciation card. I appreciate you. Write something in it. A $5 white rose, and I put it in her car as she's great, get in the car, go to work. I won't even say nothing, but when she get in, of course, when she come out, she see it, she jump out the car, she come in the house. Hey, oh my God, I love you so much. This, that, and the third. I love you too. But it's just showing my signs of appreciation because she's a great mother, she's a great wife, and I just want, that's just my small ways of showing my token appreciation for my wife, to let her know the small things that she do don't go unnoticed, and I appreciate her. She's my queen. And that's what builds a better relationship. And then when those days come around, like Valentine's Day, you ain't going all crazy like trying to figure out what you gonna do.
Broke.
You know what I'm saying? Spending hundreds, maybe $1,000 for one day because you show no love all year long. Now you going all out because you gotta show love on this one day because you show no love all year long. You show love throughout the year. Then when that one day come, y'all could just sit in the house and chill and watch a movie. And I mean, just boo love or just have a regular day because that's what y'all do every day. Now, I mean, that's nothing new to y'all. Like, I can use an example, a strong example. This is funny because a lot of married couples can't do this neither. Me and my wife, we could be sitting in the car, and this is where friendship come in at. We could be sitting in the car.
I know what you're getting ready to say.
And a girl with a fat butt walk past. She know I see it because I'm a man. I see this girl with a fat butt walk past.
You seen her booty, y'all.
But before I can say anything, she'll say before I do. She got a big butt, don't she? And I'm like, yeah, she got a big butt.
Tail nice.
Don't be naive as men. Like, now, don't be stupid neither. Like, y'all walking down the street or in the mall, you turn around and look at her butt. But if she's in front of you, she know you see this girl with a nice butt or a nice body in front of you.
And you know what, too? I think, what happens is when it comes to, being able to be, hi, brother, being able to be like, honest and thorough in your relationship with, the differences of, attraction from one sex to the other. Like, listen, don't pretend that your spouse, male or female, doesn't have eyes. But listen, women, I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective. Don't think that, if you're not happy with yourself, I'm not saying your husband won't love you, but don't be on your husband's case about not loving you for who you are if you don't love yourself for who you are. If you're not happy with your weight and, you down yourself, you talking negative to yourself, it is definitely your husband's responsibility and obligation to uplift you and encourage you. However, you can't expect for somebody to love something about you that you don't love. You can't expect for somebody to do for you what you won't do for yourself. So communication is a great topic for us always because we get a lot of, comments and accolades and love and respect. And a lot of people reach out to us collectively or individually about our marriage. But it has not always been this way. So 20 years plus, but then you figure 17 years, going on 17 years married, this has not always been this way. We've had our fair share of, public humiliation and embarrassment, everybody knowing your business. And when we declare, like, listen, that everybody know our business, but we don't know none of this. We had to check ourselves too, because we also have children we have to protect. And, we didn't grow up in homes that were, the Cosbys or close to it, or even the ghetto Cosbys. We had broken homes and broken families. And furthermore, it's really about the principle of making the commitment that you made to God about being there for each other, loving each other, so you have to consider all those factors, and communication and wisdom is the key. When people ask all the time, and they might think it's so cheesy, but communication, wisdom, and God is the key. We tried it our way. We tried it his way. We tried it my way. And it wasn't until I gave God complete control over everything I felt about our relationship, our marriage that wasn't right, everything that was up and down, I didn't understand. We gave all of those things to God, and giving all of that to God, when I asked God to give me wisdom and to strengthen our communication, that is when things begin to change. And the thing was, we had to notice, I know for me, I did that. I didn't need God to fix him. I mean, he did, but that wasn't my responsibility. It was just to pray for him as his partner, but to ask God to work on me so I could be a whole person. And even now, these years later, there are some things that we're still learning, but I learned to tell on the person that I can tell on him to, and he can't do nothing about it, which is God. And the more he fell in love with God, the more he fell in love with me, the more he treated me better, the more he was concerned about who I am and what I want, and more than just cooking and washing clothes and taking care of, the boys. So,
and that all goes back to saying too, men, brothers, like when you come home from a hard day's work, I get so bothered by brothers at work, when they always complain about how hard they work and how physical the job is, and she don't know what I'm going through as a man. It's crazy because why would you want your wife to work hard like you or physically be able to do that?
Okay.
You can't, that's your job to be the man, to hold it down, and you're not supposed to compare your job to hers. At the end of the day, especially when kids involved, we got it easy by going to work. It's like a vacation for real, because we're away from the daggone kids. You know what I'm saying?
Vacation time.
Like being a mom, that job alone, without even having a financial paying job, being a mom.
Listen to this, lady.
That's a job in itself, and I give a lot of credit, a lot of respect to a lot of single mothers out there, because it's both of us, and we got 2 teenagers and one that's about to be a teenager, and it's very challenging, but it made us be much better as parents to learn from our kids as well. Yes. And the best thing that we have as parents, we're so transparent, because how we came up, we know what it's like to be teenagers as well. We ain't gonna be so hard on our kids because we know what they're going through. We did far more worse than they did. Yeah. So they gotta suffer the consequence. They gotta learn from what they did. What they did wasn't right.
Yeah.
But we gotta know, know in the back of our heads too, we was teenagers too. Like, what we did was far more worse than what they did. So I got to tell my wife the other day, like, me and my wife, after we lay down the law and discipline on our kids, we'll go in a room and laugh about it to ourselves, like, yo, they have no idea, like, what we did was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's been a blessing. Just being there with my kids, watching them grow, raise them, and to have my wife by my side doing it, it's been a true blessing. And it's just having this woman right here is everything. Is everything. She's been a true blessing to me, and like I said, we've been through a lot. It's been trying. Ain't nothing like the Cosby. This is not the Cosbys.
I'm not Claire, okay?
I'm
not Claire.
Nothing is perfect.
Hi, Kay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
We take it day by day. And, brothers, when you come home from work, and, ask, when you hug her, like, really give her a genuine hug and ask her how was her night. Like, I work overnight.
Don't ask if you don't mean it.
When I see my wife in the morning, I mean, I get limited sleep, very limited sleep. You know what I'm saying? But I make sure when I get home and I see my wife in the morning, I talk to her and see how she's doing. How did you sleep? How was your night? How was your day? Like, because I only talk to her for a couple minutes on my lunch break, and I might text her throughout the night. And that's another thing, fellas. Like, when you're at work, that's something I did. I had a job for 14 years before I got at Coca-Cola. I was there for 14 years, and I never really text my wife to see how she's doing while I was at work. I don't know if because I was only 5 minutes away compared to me working in North Philly, where, where I'm like more concerned and more worried about, her well-being and my family's well-being because I work overnight.
Yeah.
But, that connection, that communication of just
communication,
letting her know that I'm thinking about her while I'm at work, and when I get home, I'm asking her how is she doing, and I'm giving her a genuine hug. And it's not about I'm so tired. She know I'm tired. She know I'm physically tired. But I want to know how you doing. How are you? Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what it's all about.
And you know what, ladies, it goes beyond,
Yes, but Ryan.
it goes beyond, saying I cooked, I cleaned, I went to work, the house is clean, the kids is taken care of, and, we had sex this week. It's more than that. And you need to mentally stimulate your man's mind.
F?
You need to stimulate him, because this is the thing. Let's just be perfectly honest. Christian marriages, and I would say Christian marriage because we took our vows before God, and we are Christians and we believe in God. So I would say Christian marriage, and I'm saying that to say that don't think because people are married and they're Christians and they go to church and they believe in God and all of that they don't face temptation, that men aren't swindled, that men don't face temptation with women, and that women won't face temptation with men. And stop thinking that, oh, he cheated or oh, she cheated, that is the, like, oh, it just, hey, mom, that,
okay,
it started
baby
there.
Boy.
When someone's cheating in a relationship, it started already. It started before. The signs were already there. So when you're not a whole person, women, you don't know who you are. You don't know your purpose. You're not happy with yourself inside and out. It's going to be hard to fulfill the other roles and the other hats that you wear in your life. It's going to be hard to be a mom. It's going to be hard to be a wife, to be a friend, to be whatever role, whatever hat you wearing, however many of them it is. It's going to be hard to do that when you don't know who you are. So you can't allow your insecurities to keep you from making sure you're being dutiful, to your spouse. So don't be afraid to have hard conversations like this. This will be a completely different live, but I'm just going to lay this here. Don't be afraid, right, bud? You know what I'm about to say? No. Don't be afraid to talk about your sex life within your marriage, okay? Don't be afraid to let him or her say to you, I'm not really being pleased. When you are pleasing me, it feel like you just laying there.
That's crazy. I have to elaborate on this.
Wait. So that's gonna be another topic. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: don't be afraid to have those conversations, because let's just keep it 100. Sometimes the stuff that you really need to talk about, you feel a little bit shy to go into. But that's one of the things we're gonna come back on that live. He want to elaborate. He ain't elaborate tonight. But that's crazy. One of the things that we know how to win in with that, boy. That's gonna be another topic. But communication is key.
No kids allowed in that conversation.
Exactly. But communication is like key, because if you have wisdom in communication, that really blocks out the stuff that comes after. That blocks out the stuff that comes, in between. This means your friends can't say nothing, your mama and your daddy and them can't say nothing. Because listen, people will weigh in on your relationship and what they think it is and how it should be and how it isn't. But guess what? They don't have to sleep with that person at night. They don't have the responsibilities and obligations that you share with the person. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, that person is still being with their messed up relationship and telling you all the while to get rid of yours. I had to be honest with myself and say, God, I don't want nobody else's mess. I want my mess. And then I want you to take my mess and clean it up. Because I love my husband and I love my children. So you have to be in a place where you are completely honest about who you are and where you are and what you want. And don't be afraid or ashamed about what you want. And then ask God to work it out. When he and I got married, yes, or don't even have one because you ain't ready and you're not whole. When he and I got married, I was 21 and he was 23. Right? 23?
Yeah.
You don't know how old
2 years older than you.
Okay.
So 23.
And I was just happy, like, oh, somebody is professing and proclaiming their love for me. And, I was young and, I didn't really have a relationship with my mom that was that healthy, and me and my dad were barely talking, and I didn't have any like mother-like figures that much, that I could go to. I was a closed-in, isolated person. I'm very personable, and even now I'm still very, very personable. So I wasn't like offering up my information, and so I got married at 21, like, oh, I'm in love, and he loved me, and this and that and the other. And I asked something about, I mean, he said he ain't had no kids, but I didn't really do no research. He could have had kids. I didn't ask if he was down low. I didn't ask if he liked men on the side, if he liked men 6 months out of the year. I asked him if he killed people. I didn't ask him any of these things. I asked him if he was saved. I didn't ask him if he loved the Lord. And guess what? When I got married, my husband was not saved. And guess what else? He did not even believe in God. Who does that? Who gets married? And I was pregnant, right? Walking in the aisle. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm pregnant. Okay? And he don't even believe in God. He don't even believe. He ain't even saved. I sing it in the choir. I'm directing the choir. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. Okay? Fornicating, pregnant. And guess what? My husband.
Love you too, big bro.
My husband doesn't even believe in God. So.
Hey.
And this is back.
That was at one point in time.
But listen, but I'm saying that to say to the topic that we're on here, for those who are just chiming in, communication. If I would have been communicating, and listen, nowadays I tell people, go like, oh, I want my relationship to be like you. I'll be like, listen, girl, y'all first date, won't y'all go get an AIDS test on y'all first date? Y'all first date, won't y'all talk about credit scores and all that? Listen, really get a chance to know the person. Like, don't take those steps when there's so many things in the in-between, because people think about marriage and you playing house. That's your life. You playing with your life. So you make these commitments. You can't just be playing house. You really got to be honest about what you know you're getting into. So because he wasn't saved, that created a lot of issues in our marriage really early on. And we didn't communicate.
A lot of challenges. Yeah. A lot of challenges.
Yeah. No communication.
A lot of things that she said to me in the past, in the first 7 years of our marriage, made it even more challenging because, like I said, at one point in time, I didn't believe. So a lot of things she said to me came from a Christian heart, but I took it as an insult. I took it as, yo, what do you mean? Like, I mean, I'm a man. I'm holding it down. I'm paying the bills. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like, but like I said, I was ignorant to the things that she was trying to show me, and it took me so long. That's why I said communication is key, and you gotta have communication to build that trust, to build that friendship. And that's a lot of times when people get married, they lose friendship. They just got the title of husband and wife,
playing house, and
everything's so doggone serious. You know what I mean? Y'all don't know how to laugh and joke and have a good time. And I mean, and like I said, I mean, I have so much that, to be thankful for, coming from where I come from. We both came up so messed up, and where we come from. We our stories are similar. Me and my wife have, we can relate so much to the things that we've been through in life. Yeah. So, and I'm so thankful. I'm glad I'm glad she didn't kind of ask that question. Was I saved or anything? Because
we wouldn't have got married.
We wouldn't be together. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because when we got together, it's so funny because a lot of people don't know the story. Like when we got together, we had a marriage date to get married at a certain time.
Yeah. And
when her pastor found out that found she was pregnant. And she was pregnant out of wedlock. The church that she served in, and she was a director of the choir. She served in ministry there.
On the choir.
He told her, if you didn't get married at a certain date, she was going to have to step down. So me being me, when she came to tell me this, I took that as like I was peed off. Like, who is this dude to tell us when we going to get married? Like, I mean, that's wrong. So, long story short, I was in my bag. I was selfish in my feelings, but I had came to one of the services that they had a concert for one particular night, and I saw her amazing gift that she can sing and she can direct, and I was like, wow, like I can't take this away from her. So of course I agreed to marry her sooner than later. And when we got married, before we got married, I was coming to services a lot more, because I wanted to hear her sing more, and I was hearing the word. And then, directly after that, the day after we got married, I joined the church. Like I said, once again, it wasn't all that simple. I mean, because it's so much more foolishness in church than it is in the street, and that's what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you got kids, you don't want your kids receiving foolishness. You know what I'm saying? You want them to get fed well, just like you. So, you know, I mean, that's another whole thing as well. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, communication, that's
key.
big. The whole point of this conversation, this topic, this live that my wife wanted me to take part in her with is to let y'all know. Just to let y'all know where, how important communication is in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, the marriage, the relationship is lost. There's no trust.
Mm-hmm.
And live like take it day by day. Don't worry about tomorrow get here. And just live life and be happy. And
don't be afraid to communicate about the ugly stuff. Like communicate about how you feeling. Because this is what happens when you can't communicate to the person that you sleep next to every night and you pay your bills with. Now you're telling your friends at your job. You telling your mama and your auntie and them and your cousins. You're telling all of these wrong people. And I'm not saying that everybody in your life has bad intentions when it comes on the perception or giving you advice on your relationship or your marriage. But what I am saying is that that's not the first person or persons you should be running to. You should be running to God. You should be telling God. And I mean, I don't know who you serve, but I serve baby Jesus, and that's who I run to. And he done solved all mine. I done tried it my way, and it ain't worked. But when he and I included God in our marriage, things start working out. Now there are definitely some areas where we're still working on when it comes to building our life and our family. But in terms of us, I often sometimes joke and I say if I got one ministry down, it's marriage. We've had so many experiences and we've grown from them. And our faith has been increased. And now it's not just he on one side fighting and I'm on this side fighting. It's we're stronger because we're fighting together, praying together, being faithful together, communicating together, and not just hearing my side and him just letting his side. And it is, and don't think that everything is going to be he going to talk to you okay, I'm going to do that for you, babe. And it's going to, no, be okay with your man expressing himself. I ain't talking about, yelling at you like he, Debo or Suge Knight or nobody like that. I ain't promoting that. But I'm just saying in terms of expressing their true feeling, what's in their heart. Don't shy away from making them feel comfortable, because this could be a whole other topic. This is how you run your man off, okay? And now Bonquisha at the job, who supposed to wear a uniform, but her uniform look like it's part of her skin, okay? And she be showing all her goodies at work. Now your husband gonna go to work and Bonquisha gonna listen to him. But because you don't be talking to your man at home, you don't got time to listen, Bonquisha got both her ears is free. Okay?
Well, as far as Bonquisha is concerned, I'm saying,
well, you speak from male perspective because I don't know.
At the end of the day, brothers, I'm saying, when it comes to that, you have to let your wife, your significant other, the one you're serious with, hopefully your wife, that you're not keeping her in the dark, having her think that everything's okay when it's not. Yeah. If she's not pleasing you sexually, or mentally, physically, whatever the case may be, you have to let her know. Yes. Don't have her thinking she's doing a great job.
And you like, yes.
And then at flip mode, and you get to work and you start talking to Bonquisha, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And complaining about what you're not getting at home.
Yeah.
Of course, Bonquisha going to fulfill your needs because you letting her know what you're not getting at home, but you ain't giving your wife, your significant other, the benefit of the doubt by letting her know what she's not doing. And she's probably willing and able to do everything that you want, but she's doing what you think. She probably thinking she's pleasing.
Ain't gonna wash your drawers.
But you know what I'm saying? It's almost like that. I'm quite sure we all done seen why did I get married, and that 80-20 rule, that's for real.
Jesus.
That's for real.
Help him, Lord.
If you want that 20 and you let go of that 80. It's painful.
That's your fault.
It's painful.
That's your fault.
It's painful. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Let your wife know what she's not doing. I mean, she's your wife. I'm quite sure she'll be submissive to you, and she's willing to do what she got to do to
make it right. Okay.
To do what she got to do, because I mean, that's y'all plan on spending the rest of your life together.
And don't forget, you're growing with this person. When he and I were married at that young age, we still didn't know I didn't know who I was, and we had a lot to work on individually. So collectively, we hadn't even got to the collective part yet. So even though we became a union, we really weren't even ready to be a union. We were still working on ourselves, figuring out, who we were. So you don't want to, have somebody thinking one thing, but really you need something else. And what happens is you grow. What you want at 21, when I got to 31, I did not need it. I needed something completely different. And definitely in the in-between. My mind started growing. I was drawn closer to God. I wanted to know more about God. So I was challenging him in different ways. He wasn't prepared for it. It was like off guard to him, like, girl, what you talking about? Like, yeah, why are you asking me these questions?
Yeah, the challenges, I took it as, she was being ignorant, and
I wasn't being ignorant.
I didn't. That's how I took it, because I was ignorant at the time. I wasn't into the going to church every Sunday and Bible study and stuff like that. So it made it harder on her to be a mom and get our sons to do what we should have been doing as a family. Because if I chose to stay home and I didn't want to go because I'm tired, and I done worked all day, and I want to have off and sleep in on Sunday and not go to Bible study on Wednesday night, then my sons would follow my lead and be like, well, I want to stay home with dad. So it put a hardship and a struggle on my wife, especially with having boys. She's the only woman in the house. So I try to put on my sons to let them know, I want them. My sons watch every move I make, and I want to be a big influence. I want to be a role model, and I want to be an example to my sons and let them know she's not only my wife, she's my queen. So, and I try to tell them it's a big difference between loving somebody and being in love with somebody.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you just love them, my small definition, or short definition, or ghetto definition, however you want to put it. If you just love somebody, I say you just tolerate them. I tolerate you. But if I'm in love with her, which I am, she's my queen. I'm willing to do any and everything to make sure that smile stays on her face. So and that's what I try to put on my sons to let them know. I'm saying, I've been there, done that, and like I said, we best friends, so we still talk. Sometimes my wife still asks me, you still don't know how many women you was with?
Yes.
And that was my past. No, I don't. And I don't let my sons think that was okay, because it could have been bad. It could have been bad. And I always tell my sons, it's bigger than getting a girl pregnant, because these out here is crazy.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very graphic with my sons when it comes to life and being with women. Because you don't know. You can't look at a woman. The crazy part is you can't look at a woman in nowadays and tell if she was a man. And that's the sick, crazy part. You got diseases to worry about. Now you got to worry about, this woman really a man? Was a man in her former life or his former life? So, honor, cherish, and love your woman. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my wife said, stop asking the stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Ask more important things when you start seriously dating people, because you really want to know what their motives are of being with you. You don't want no opportunity to somebody who live off his mama. And his mama died, so now he's looking for a girlfriend who can take care of him. But he figured, if I marry into it, then I'm taking care of for life, because his mama took care of him. You don't need no man that got a lot of mama problems. You don't need that. So you ask questions, and don't be afraid. Because guess what? If you just dating and you just met somebody and they got a problem with you communicating, they got a problem with you asking, where you from? Well, you know what? Let's take an AIDS test. What you got to hide? If he bugging out, he mad, and you tripping, and you know what? No loss. Because guess what? I just met you. Get that stuff out in the way early on. Because, listen. If he and I, God forbid, ever split up for whatever reason, I don't got time to figure out if somebody's feet stink, if they got ugly toes, what type of food they like, is their mama and them crazy. I don't got time to get to know all this new stuff again. I just don't. And, they sister crazy, they mama crazy, the brothers, I don't got time to figure out, is the cousin a baby mama and she your cousin. I don't got time to figure out all that stuff. So don't be afraid early on to ask these pertinent, they're really questions that should be imperative. These should be some top interview questions when you're dating somebody and getting a chance to know somebody. And women, when your men are facing the issue of communicating with you on the same level as you,
then, I mean, because in the beginning I used to be like, you need to be coming with us, and you should be this, and why you ain't that? God was like, shut up, teacher, because you talk too much. You keep talking, yes, Joanna, mental health as well. You keep talking, you keep talking. God told me to stop saying something, you keep saying something to him. What has it gotten you by you keep saying something to him about what he should be doing? And it got me nowhere. And you know what I started doing? I stopped saying anything, and I started praying more. I started talking to God about it more. I started crying to God about it more. When I felt like he wasn't listening, when I felt like he wasn't getting it, when I felt like things weren't going the right way, instead of me saying, why you not this and why you not that, I just started crying out to God. God, why isn't he responding? God, why doesn't he understand? God, why isn't he getting it? And then God began to put affirmation. He said to me, affirm him. Because this is the thing. Men already go into the world with so much against them, especially now. The thing is this. If you don't tell your own kids you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are above and not beneath, that God said that you are the head and not the tail, that you are the lender and not the borrower. If you don't tell them these things, like tell them what God says about them. So am I praying to God? He wanted me to stop always complaining about why he ain't this and why he not that. God to start affirming him. And in my prayers and even to him, he's a mighty man of God. He is a mighty man of God. Over and over again, he's a mighty man of God, to speak those things and to constantly say, he will bring many to you, God. He will encourage many by your word. He will encourage many with prayer. And I would even say to him, go ahead, man of God. And he used to be like, what? And he'd be like, nah, like that ain't me. Affirm the person. Stop saying everything so negative. You get on my nerves. You don't never take out the trash. And when you come home, all you do is this. Even though it might be difficult, you got to learn it's beyond you. It's about your future. It's beyond the right now. You got to put yourself in a position where you're making a decision for the longevity, for the end. Not making a decision off of your emotions and your feelings, like, he making me mad right now, so right now I'm about to cuss you out. Because don't pretend that some of y'all ain't cuss each other out.
And at the end of the day, men as well, like, our biggest thing is, and that was one of my biggest things, I'll speak to myself on this as well, that was one of my big, pride. Pride kills, pride destroys. And I was just talking to one of my teenage sons about this the other night. Humility is everything. You know what I'm saying? And me being married and having kids, it really taught me to be humble in a lot of ways. My son was telling me about how his coach was giving him praise about something on the football field and things, but I still wanted him to stay humble. I didn't want him to take that and run with it like, oh, I'm good. That's what I already knew. No, stay humble. Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? I want you to stay humble at all times because, humility is everything. You know what I'm saying? That pride goes... That's what men, that's big. Like, and that was something that was with me for so long, because I always did things. It was always about me. I always did for myself. I got my own place. I had my own car, paid my own bills, pay my own way in life. When I met my wife, so I gave her a hard way to go when we first got married, when we first got together. It was like, the things she would say or whatever, it was like, man, with or without you, I'm going to do me. I can care less what you're saying. Like, so, you know what I mean? And like I said, it was ignorance. It was ignorance. Pride is ignorance. Pride can be, I'm telling you, it's pain. So, you know what I mean? Be humble. Be very humble, man. It helps. It really helps, in a marriage and in a relationship when you're seriously dating. And I thank God for my pastor. I mean, he's his, in all his teachings, in the literature that he put out there for us to read. Like I said, this book right here, I'm trying to tell you, it's everything. This powerful couple came to our church, and it's one of the best books I ever read. I'm about to read it again, because I never read a book twice, but I'm about to read this book twice because it really helps when it comes to marriage and relationships. I'm telling you, I promise y'all will not be disappointed if y'all invest in this book. And I'm telling you, it's everything. And it takes a lot to grab my attention. It takes a lot. With this book, my pastor had a guest speaker come last week, Charles Jenkins. And I believe a lot of people know him. He sings "You Are Awesome." But he said he spoke on something, and I used to say, I still say I'm a soldier for God, soldier for Christ.
You ain't no
but
soldier
this
no more.
right here,
you an ox now.
I'm an ox. I never knew how much ox. And everybody like, I'm a lion.
You said bone dad, I'm an ox.
I'm an ox now. I'm trying to tell you, like this man gave a powerful message on an ox. I'm trying to tell you, man, keep
being an ox for your families, man. Don't give in.
Be an ox for your families. I mean, be steadfast, be strong, no matter what. Persevere, keep pushing. Because your kids is watching, your family is watching, your friends is watching. You never know who watching. I got people that that I got a lot of coworkers that that reach out to me at work and talk. And I never met these people a day in my life. I've only been here 2 years, and for me being steadfast in the way I've been in the past 2 years, I kept my character stayed the same. And these people come to me asking me questions about relationships and marriage. Because they see how I am, my character, how I stand out. I and I'm very grateful for that. I don't take that for granted.
Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed of your, like, I guess with men, like y'all dominate, like, you're not afraid of being emotional. You're not afraid of being, I guess not so puffed up like, nah, she did that. I like this. Are you okay? You're okay with being honest, like about, what's the meat and what's the bone, like. You know how men get, like, I don't know exactly how to explain that, but you know how sometimes men don't like to express or admit about their softer side. Like if my wife did that, I do this.
Oh, well, at one point in time, it was like that. Like I said, it wasn't always like that. We going on 17 years married. June 9th, 2018 will be 17 years married. And I tell my wife all the time, out of all days in a year, this is the one day I look forward to. I feel different when I wake up. Something accomplished. It means something.
Oh, I felt that.
It's significant. Like I have to celebrate it. I have to let my wife how much she means to me. That day is everything to me. No other day means no much. It don't really. I mean, it's other days that mean something to me, but my anniversary is everything to me because we've been through so much. We've been through so much, and it's so many marriages that fell, especially when you got young couples. Like I say, I mean, I'm very thankful for my wife. So in the beginning, for her to be the strong woman of God that she is and still is, she fought hard when I was ready for my marriage. When I was ready to give up.
I was crying, praying to baby Jesus.
But now it's like it's crazy because when I'm weak, she's strong, and when she weak, I'm strong. Yeah. It's crazy because what I mean, like I'm so consistent now. I serve in a ministry and how consistent and disciplined I am with this ministry.
I used to wake him up for church every Sunday. I had this song. I'm like, on every Sunday morning, I'm like, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Let's praise the Lord. Well, guess what? He be waking me up sometimes.
I wake her up. I'm out the door.
I earned that.
We go to 2 different services now just because of how our life is set up now with work. So, I mean, I get up and I'm out the door before they even get up. But, I'm very thankful from where I'm at right now.
And he don't fall asleep in church. Look at God.
I stay up late. I mean, I work late. And nothing stopped me from going. And it was something that, matter of fact, speaking to the same person, Charles Jenkins, he said something that stood out to me. And it stuck with me. He was like, he promised when he got big with his music ministry and everything, and he was away from his church for so long,
consecutive days,
and it bothered his ministry, his congregation. So he made a promise to himself and his congregation that he would never miss more than 2 Sundays in a row. And maybe that's something that you could start with there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that because sometimes the body is tired. You know what I mean? But and all that old cliche saying God knows my heart. But still, you know what I mean?
Lies, get up and go. You need the fellowship.
You need to be there. We got the option of streaming live. We got the option of streaming live, but it's not the same.
No,
I want to be there.
I stream live today.
I want to be there.
I was dancing up in my room almost.
And I feel good. I'm truly blessed, and I thank God for my wife and everything that's coming our way.
I do too. I thank God for you.
I hope y'all received this live.
Yeah, guys.
Thank y'all for letting me be a part of this. I mean, my wife been pulling teeth.
Don't like to.
She been pulling teeth for the longest, trying to get me to do a live with her.
I be like, come on live with me. I be popping sometimes. Yeah. I haven't been on in a very long time. I said, but sometimes I'll be popping, they would come in, and talk to us and stuff, but he'd be like, you crazy girl. And I'd be on live and talking to y'all, and he'd be on the side like, come on in, like, don't be all being shy. And you know what? This is the thing. Never think that God has delivered you from anything that he's delivered you from just for you to keep it to yourself. Was it easy when we were going through all of those things in our marriage? No. Would I have been as willing to maybe share in the depth and in the core of it and the while it was happening? No. But I do know this for sure, that the enemy is very tactful when it comes to destroying families and marriages, because if we're not together and we're not keeping our commitment and our covenants and our unions that we took before God, then it is more it is going to be more substantial for our young black men to be in the prison system, and for our women to sell their bodies, and for our young men to be on drugs, our young women to be on drugs, and our young men to sell drugs, because the family structure is constantly being broke down and attacked by the enemy. So if I'm able to help save or give hope because to one marriage, it's okay for me to share what God has delivered me out of. So he doesn't deliver you and take you out of stuff for you to keep it all to yourself, because people need to know that I used to look just how you look. If your marriage was ugly, busted, and disgusted, what up? I used to look just like you, girl. But guess what? God can. At one point in time, I had no hope. I had no hope at all. And it all started, no lie, with somebody asking me, what do you want? And somebody asking me, can I pray for you? Because I wasn't strengthened enough myself. I needed the guidance. I needed, you know what I'm saying? I needed somebody. Because this is what happened. People would say, leave her, leave him, pack your stuff, go. Don't be around here. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't talk to them. Now the kids looking crazy. You looking crazy. Family all broken up. And guess what the key ingredient to a lot of broken families? Miscommunication. I even listened to my grandmother, God bless her. She died at the age of 69 years old. I remember listening to my grandmother talk to me, and she was referencing and reminiscing about my grandfather, who she used to be married to. And then she shared a lot with me, and in so many words she said at 60 something years old, basically she said she wished she would have handled things differently. I wish I basically would have communicated with my husband even though it was real bad, because she still loved him and things would be differently. So even with any relationship, if there's an issue, stop letting your mind take control over what you're thinking. Because you know how people say, don't believe everything you hear? Don't believe everything you think, okay? Get some clarification. Communicate with the people in your life so you can kill all of the noise. The enemy, it's all distractions. He don't want us to be stronger women and stronger men. And this is why women look so much more stronger than men are, because women tend to stick together more. But sisters, we got a better job to do, because you'll talk about the person that sit behind you, in the front of you, on the side of you in church. Then you'll go to work and you mad at Bonquisha because her hair, her weave look better than your bundles. And it's like petty stuff.
Bonquisha getting play.
She getting a lot of play. Tonight she is on my live anyway. So communication is definitely, it's key. It's not cliche. It's very true. And I know it. And I would be wrong not to share about what God has done in our lives, for my husband and I. We ain't perfect. We ain't the Cosbys, I ain't shaped like Beyonce or Halle Berry.
Our kids not perfect. We not perfect.
You got a nice body though. You don't look like Denzel, but Denzel, he old now, so you shouldn't want to look like Denzel. But he don't look like McConaughey Cathaway. You too dark. He light skin.
I look like Al Smith. That's who I look like. That boy named Al, and I feel good. I'm 40 years old, and I feel great at 40. I feel greater than I did when I was in my 20s, and I'm trying to teach my young boys. They swear, they wish they could be like, look and feel the way I do. I'm 40 years old, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But I maintain. I understand. It all that comes to having a good marriage. I'm happy.
I'm a cook. I'm a clean.
I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where all that comes from. Anybody that follow me on Instagram, and once again, I never did social media. My wife actually
So he can get off my
motivated
Instagram.
that. Motivated that. I used to
Instagram.
follow a lot of weightlifting people and stuff on her Instagram. So she actually put one on me, and she actually created mine, and I just went crazy with it. And I got used to it, and I just my profile, my Instagram is very inspirational. I put a lot of inspirational pics up, and and I try to keep people motivated because it's easy. It's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to tell somebody to break up, leave her or leave him.
Don't do it.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. That's not easy for me to do no more. If I ain't got nothing nice to say or something positive to say, I'm not saying it at all. But I'm in a good place, and I'm very blessed.
And don't give up on your marriage. Think about it like this: if you put $2,000 in the bank, you already put $2,000 in the bank. And let's say just over some time, you have made an investment basically, and over this time period of time, that $2,000 grew. And then the bank call you, and you done accrued, let's say $6,000. And the bank call you and say, "Ma'am, we're sorry, but your funds are no longer available. Something happened, our system was hacked, and blah, 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 blah." Are you going to just be like, "Okay, can y'all call me when y'all let me know something?" No, you're not. You're going to be like, I need somebody to help me understand. I need somebody to give me clarification. Can somebody please communicate with me about why my $6,000 ain't in my bank account? I'm not hanging up. I'm not leaving this bank until I get my $6,000. I'm not taking no for an answer. There you go. I'm not leaving my husband. I'm not taking no for an answer. Devil, you's a liar. I'm staying and I'm fighting until I get what I need. I came here for the man I married. That's how you gotta be. That's right, son. Amen. That's how you gotta be for the stuff God bless you with. Be like that for your relationships and your marriages. Don't give up. It is a plight of the enemy. Don't give up. You ain't gonna leave $6,000 in the bank and let them tell you they just lost it and they gonna call you tomorrow. You're gonna be like, no. You're gonna Chloe it. You're gonna set it off. Rolling sleeves up. We riding to the bank. I'm coming. Don't y'all close the bank. So that's why Jesus, don't turn off the main line until my prayer get through. I need you to touch my husband's heart, Lord.
She trying to act like my girl Taraji right now. You know what I mean?
I'm a cook. I'm a
She
queen.
trying to act
I'm
like Cookie Lion right now. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
Cookie. I ain't that ratchet. I'm from the ghetto, but I ain't that ghetto. She real ghetto.
Yo,
But we thank you guys for listening tonight, but thanks for not just staying on the side where people can't see you, for actually coming in tonight. I appreciate it.
It's a circle. There's no beginning, no end, no entry, no exit.
You being deep, yes.
No circle. I mean, it's a circle. No beginning, no end.
Hallelujah.
No entry, no exit.
Hallelujah.
Don't let nobody interfere with y'all circle.
If they is, keep boundaries with them and start praying for them. Okay, that's what you do. Pray for them and keep your boundaries because they ain't for you right now. And then, you can break out when God let them be for you again. But we gonna go. We love y'all. Grace and peace be unto
Love
you.
y'all.
Bye-bye, guys.